Is this the most creepiest movie of the year? What's happening, guys? Back at you with another video. So I know I might be late on this video, like putting this video out, but generally, after watching this movie, I really did want to give my thoughts and give my review on this movie and actually generally talk about it. I actually did want to do this, like actually talk about this movie. So I was able to check out Talk to Me over the weekend, and I gotta say, this movie initially, this wasn't a movie I was going to check out, but word of mouth got around, and then I just happened to have some time to go check out this movie over the weekend. And I got to say that after watching this movie, I really did want to actually talk about it and get my thoughts on this movie. So let's go ahead and talk about Talk to Me. This movie does a good job of taking a new, fresher take on something we've seen in a horror movie before. You know, this movie deals with supernatural forces, dealing with spirits and dead people. But the thing about this movie that I like is that it gives it a fresh new take on it. In the movie, you basically have this hand that a group of teenagers are using as a party game. You shake the hand, say "talk to me," and you're able to see a dead spirit, you know, basically around you. And when you say "let it in," I let you in, or whatever the words were, that spirit takes over your body for a certain amount of time, for a couple seconds, and it just starts talking. It starts making movements and things like that. And basically, the whole point, the thing with this whole thing with the with the hand and all that, is that you're able to see the dead spirits. They're able to take over your body for a small amount of time, but you got to make sure that it's not very long. I believe it was like 90 seconds. If it's 90 seconds and under, then you're good. If you release the hand and, you know, within those 90 seconds, you're good. But if you go past 90 seconds, that spirit lingers on in the real world or something like that, or, you know, you start seeing the dead spirits around you all the time, or they come to you and all that, is from what I'm understanding. At least it was kind of hard to make out in a movie, but from my understanding, that's kind of what happens. So basically, I don't want to give too much away because I do want to leave some surprises, of course, in this movie. But of course, the way that teenagers are, and of course, I can speak for myself and, you know, other people out there. I'm sure we're crazy as teenagers, but, you know, teenagers are going to do what teenagers do. We're going to be dumb. They're going to be stupid. And the way that they set up this thing as a whole party game where they just gather a group of friends, group of people, and each one of them is doing it and they're talking to different spirits and stuff like that. Of course, it gets out of hand, and that's how we get our whole story for this movie. I think this is an interesting take on on an idea that's been done already before in horror movies. Like I said, is dealing with supernatural forces and dealing with the spirits and dead people, but it feels like a fresh new take on it. I think they do a good job of doing that and bringing in this new, not new concept, but bringing in different concepts to make it feel fresh and basically this whole genre that of horror, you know. And really, with this movie, while watching this movie, I felt that it was definitely creepy. It was if you feel uneasy while watching it, you feel the tension, you feel the anxiety throughout this movie. You're like just wondering what's going to happen next, or, you know, the stuff that's going down throughout the movie, like what's going on. So it's genuinely creepy. It's uneasy. It's an uneasy and unsettling movie to watch, and you just wondering, like, you're wondering what's going to happen next. One of the things I thought was interesting that they put in this movie was there's an underlining tone of grief, or dealing with grief overall. We have our main character of Sophie, who lost her mother and is going through the grief stages and dealing with grief of losing her mother. So of course, dealing with that, and, you know, I can speak for other people and how people are in general when it comes to trying to have, you know, dealing with grief and trying to have that connection again with that person that you lost and all that. And, you know, in this case, especially with her, it's a parent. You know, one of those things that you linger for, that you like deal with grief, you long for that connection with them again. And of course, you're just like, what you're willing to do for that connection again. You know, you're willing to do anything, you're willing to go through anything. And that's kind of an underlining tone in this movie, that this character is trying to do what she can. And she's willing to go far and do stuff to have that connection again with her mother. And of course, it takes a wrong turn, and and it goes extreme and all that within this movie. And I think that's an interesting thing that they were having in this movie. You know, going along with with the things I was saying, that it feels more like a fresh take on a subgenre that we already know. So I enjoyed and liked what they're able to do with this movie. Like I said, definitely one that's a creepy watch. It's very uneasy and unsettling. The way that you see some of the dead people, where it's just, it can freak you out. It can creep you out with the way they look and the way the designs are for them. And just knowing that one of them could pop out at any time throughout the movie. You know, you got those jump scares in there too, here and there throughout the movie. So generally, when it comes down to a horror movie, some of the things I like to see is, you know, is it how is it going to interpret that different horror stuff? You know, of course we got some jump scares, um, but how is it going to make you feel while watching the movie? And I gotta say, generally, when it comes to that, in this movie, I really felt those different things, and really was honestly a pretty good horror movie when it comes down to it. Not that, like I said, I like the different things they're able to do with this movie. I think honestly, this is a good movie to watch if you're looking for a movie that, like I said, with those different concepts where you want to generally be freaked out, generally want to be creeped out or unsettling or uneasy while watching a movie, then this movie would definitely do that for you. I won't say it's necessarily scary, like super scary or anything like that, but it's all those other things I said before: uneasy, unsettling, creepy kind of thing to watch on screen. So if you're looking for those kinds of things and you want to see something that's definitely in a horror realm, this is a movie I recommend checking out. I enjoyed it for the most part. It's not very long either. It's only like an hour and a half long, so you could be able to get in, get out fairly quickly. It doesn't linger or overstay, you know, extended stay or whatever, you know. So honestly, it was actually an interesting watch. I kind of liked it for the most part. And, you know, like I said, I know I was late on this, but I definitely genuinely wanted to actually get my thoughts out there about this movie. So let me know down in the comments below if you have seen Talk to Me. What did you think about it? But that's going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Remember, if you want to be part of Team Legendary, all you got to do is subscribe and turn notifications on so you know when I post another video. Hope you all have an awesome day. And remember, be legendary.